Well, it's a windy morning here in northern Illinois. We're set up in a funnel, I guess if you want to call it that, or a pinch. Basically what I've got is our entire property, which is about 160 acres, sits to my southeast. I'm in the far corner. To my northwest, I've got the neighbor's chunk of property, which is a good bedding area, I believe. And we've got a standing cornfield over there as well. So we're basically at the kitty corner where these two pieces meet. And everything kind of just funnels through when they want to go from our piece to that piece and back and forth. During the rut, I love to sit these funnels because these bucks are just moving looking for does. So that's the plan for this morning. We got about 2 hours to sit, and then I gotta head into the office. So it's a little after 6, just breaking daylight. Hopefully something shows up. Probably gonna hit the antlers together here in a little bit, so. We will see what happens. And that right there is the frustration of the rut. Gets the bucks on their feet a little bit too much sometimes. I was just watching the sunrise over here, filming a little B-roll. I look down, there's a shooter running past me, literally right in front of me, 30 yards. He ran through here, looking for love. That's a deer that just showed up on camera in here a couple weeks ago. Real nice buck. He's a deer that I would shoot. He's not the deer I want to shoot, but he's a deer that I would shoot, so nice buck. Hopefully the next one slows down a little bit. said that about this tree. It's in a good spot, but you just can't filmed him shoot on the other side of the property a couple weeks ago, and he came through here. He was at about 30 yards or so, started working away from me, got out to maybe 45, and I grunted at him. He heard me, started coming back. He was crossing in front of me. He wasn't going to come down here, I don't think he was going to give me a shot anyways, but ended up running into a doe down here that must have been getting bumped around by that other buck we saw, and he ended up chasing her around, and I saw him kind of disappear off into the center of the property. So that's 2 shooters in one morning, both deer that I would shoot, but not deer that I want to shoot. If that makes any sense at all. I keep saying that. It's a deer I would shoot, but not a deer I want to shoot. I'm only going to shoot him if it's perfect.
I see you actually going to the stand that I think is the best one on the property.
You and Tommy both told me to go there, and to your guys' credit, there was definitely deer moving. Unfortunately, they're just moving a little bit too quick. It's what I talked about it, I think, in my interview, the curse of the rut. It gets the bucks up on their feet, but they're nonstop. They don't stop. They're going, looking for does.
I know, it's hard. I mean, there's no question about it. This is a tough time when you're a self-filmer. You know, guys, one of the things I think a lot of you appreciate with our show is not only are we trying to obviously hunt just like you guys hunt, but we're also trying to capture everything on footage by ourselves. And it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Wait till you see my little screw up. You're going to love this one.
Todd had a good one. We're going to be bringing that to you guys shortly. But I talked to Clinton yesterday after these hunts, and he said the same thing. Like, when you're self-filming during the rut, like, I almost feel like I just need to bring a decoy with me to get these things to stop long enough that I can film them. And maybe it's going to work, maybe it's not going to work, but I mean, all the buck activity I've seen the last few days, they are on a mission. I mean, they're hard enough to film them, let alone shoot them. So I may give the decoy a try later this week and see what happens. So that's my update for you for this week. Next up, guys, we're going to jump into a couple cool hunts. We've got Franki Clark here in Illinois, and then Johnny Herrmann actually hunting both Wisconsin and Wyoming as well. So let's take a look at those now.
Clint and I had a really good hunt last night. Came close to a lot of deer. Just not anything big enough to shoot. No does, little bucks and buttonheads. So I'm going to try something different tonight. I got a permission from one of my buddies to hunt a food plot I planted for him. With a bunch of does coming in there. He's seen like 17 or 16 or 17 the other night. So kind of different. We're going to boat down the lake and then come up off the bank there. And he's got a path up to a stand right there. So we're going to try it. The mission is to try to kill a doe tonight. Seen a lot of does in here, he said last week. So he's working. And I'm going to try to kill one of his does. So it's means a lot to have people let you hunt their property, and I mean, I don't mind helping out. I try to do as much as I can for all my friends, and that's just part of it. Well, we made it in. Had to take the boat down the lake, park right down over the hill here, and then got a mowed path, or a path coming up the hill to the back of the stand. Got a new logging road that he had put in when they pushed the brush up. They pushed the brush up right here along this edge, kind of made like a wall. And we put radishes and oats out here in front. And then on this logging road, we went ahead and sowed all that in oats and wheat. Kind of giving them a path to come up and out of here. So got all the standing corn, like 20 acres of standing corn. All these deer bed right here in this thicket right here. They coming out right along this corn, eating these oats and these radishes. So hope we'll get lucky and want to come out here and get close. All right. He got in here on me too quick. I couldn't get him to stop before they got through. They were straight downwind. They knew something was up, but they couldn't tell what was going on. They just knew something was different. And there's one great big doe. I was wanting to shoot her, and then she slid out, and then this doe here offered me a pretty good shot, about 26 yards. So doe down. Well, we got her all tagged up. October 23rd. Beautiful evening. Had two big does and a fawn come in. They worked their way past me more than I wanted to. Kind of got my wind a little bit. Just didn't know what was up. The big doe slid out, and then this doe come 26 yards. I thought I had her in the frame, but when I stopped her, she must have been behind a tree. I checked the footage. Hopefully at one of the other camera angles, I have my tactic cam on. That's another good thing about that. I can always use that as another angle. So just a great big mature doe. Beautiful night. I'm gonna go down and get the boat, take the boat back to my truck, and then I'll bring my truck up through and pick her up right here on the edge of this food plot. So just a beautiful night, way to get the year started. So go on tonight.
Hey kids, well, it's October 17th. I'm heading back up to northern Wisconsin. I think this is my 5th trip up there for this season, which is pretty cool. But I wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on in my world since the last time I checked in with you, which was it was right after our Wisconsin opener. I gave you guys an update. So that buck that I had been hunting opening weekend, I ended up hunting him a few more nights on that Bean and Heartland food plot. And sure enough, man, we just never spooked that deer, and he just kept coming out to that food plot, and I made a couple of moves on him, but I just never got in front of him close enough to put him down. It was a fun game of cat and mouse with that buck. You know, a big mature buck. It doesn't have the biggest rack in the world, but I just love playing cat and mouse and moving sets and trying to get in front of him and figuring the wind direction and how he's going to come out to that field. That buck came out to the field different every time I saw him, and it was all related to the wind direction. Unfortunately, that buck won the battle. That pattern has since left me. The deer overbrowse those beans and they're pretty much gone at this stage of the game. So what I did next was I moved back to that bedding area where I had been hunting in the mornings, and again it was dead back where I had been hunting. The cameras went dead, everything went dead. Although I did have a really cool encounter with a big male bobcat, and I don't know what it is about bobcats, but man, them are cool animals. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna go up. I got one more move to make. This is gonna be my 4th move back there, but I got a good feeling. I've got something figured out back there that's gonna either put that deer in front of me going out to the field this evening or coming back from the field tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna get up north. I'm gonna take a scent-free shower. I'm gonna get myself back in there. I'm gonna quietly put up a new set, and I'm gonna just hunt it for the rest of the day, and then I'm gonna be able to hunt that as well tomorrow and Friday morning if need be. So that's the plan for today. But I also wanted to fill you guys in on a trip that I took to Wyoming last week. I was gonna bring my farmer friend Carl from down in Illinois. I was gonna bring him up out to Wyoming. He's never been out there. We got him a deer tag so he could shoot a mule deer buck, and I mean I was pretty jacked up about it. My dad and another buddy of mine were all going to go out there, and it was just going to be a fun, relaxing trip and get Carl a nice mule deer buck with Bighorn Outfitters and Dustin the crew. You guys all know him. Just a first-class operation out there. But Carl unfortunately his back went out the week before we were going to go 2 weeks ago, and so Carl didn't make the trip, but my dad and myself and my buddy all went out. And so the first night out there, Dustin says, man, I got spots. You guys want to shoot a couple of white-tailed does? You know, let's go get you some tags, and I'll throw you guys in some blinds. And so we went into town, grabbed some doe tags, and Dustin put my dad and myself in a little creek bottom that had a couple of apple trees by it. And my God, you guys are gonna see some of the footage, but I'll guarantee you there's a lot more footage. And we were only in that blind for an hour and a half. I don't know, I think we saw like 12 different bucks. I shot a whitetail doe out there. You guys have been seeing the struggles that I've had with my shooting for the past many years, and I've put a lot of work into correcting my issues, and probably shot 10,000 arrows since last fall, and I feel good about my shooting right now. I put the pin where it was supposed to be on that doe, you know, pulled the trigger nice and easy, and made a beautiful shot on that deer. My dad, 75 years old, man, still shooting a vertical bow, put a beautiful shot on his doe. We had 2 does laying dead within 50 yards of the blind in the first hour and a half we were out there. It was such a fun hunt, something that you can, you know, remember forever, hunting with my dad and putting down a couple of deer out in Wyoming with him. But anyways, man, what a great trip. Always fun out there. So anyways, enough rambling. I'm just gonna enjoy the fall colors on the way up north, and we're gonna get up there, put up a new set, and we're gonna shoot a big buck for you in here in the next couple days. So stay tuned. As always, I'm gonna bring it to you on film, and we'll be driving back with a big buck in the truck here in the next couple days, and then next week I'm gonna start down in Illinois chasing that giant I got down there. So there's gonna be a lot of good things happening in Johnny Herrmann's world here in the next month. So you guys stay tuned. I'll bring it all to you on film.
17 deer.
17.
I haven't seen 17 deer in a long time in a field at one time. I want to see
Like
17
in one
deer.
night?
Yeah,
in
they
one
do. That's
sit?
a
It's
fun
been
sit.
a while. No, I think last year I had one hunt where I saw close to that many, but
That was probably a
far and
late
few
season
between.
winter hunt though.
it was end of November. End of November. But yeah, I mean, Franki had a great hunt. I mean, unfortunately, he just couldn't catch a break with the self-filming. You know, I did that
It's
same thing a couple years ago. Doe steps behind a branch, and it's amazing to me, like, for any of you that film out there that have ever experienced this, the difference in point of view that, like, what 2 feet makes. I mean, from where Franki is at, you know, he's got a perfect line of sight to that deer. That camera's literally right off his right shoulder. You wouldn't think it would make that big of a difference, but she steps behind there, and then, you know, the kick in the pants is that, you know, he's got his Tacticam running, and there's a couple leaves, you know, and it's just
Right
like,
there.
gosh, could I catch a break? But you know what? It is what it is. He put some meat in the freezer, made a great shot. Doe went down on film. And then what about Johnny and his dad,
Dude.
man? What a cool hunt, huh?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a cool hunt, but dude, come on, that drop tine buck. I mean, how do you not think about how?
Ooh, I know Johnny is, I think he's in Illinois right now, or going
hope he
back to
is.
Illinois shortly, chasing that deer. But congrats to Johnny, man.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, he caught a lot of grief from people last year about some of his shooting in previous years, and that guy has worked his freaking tail off this year. And the first animal that he releases an arrow at this fall, he absolutely drilled her perfectly. Good. So I know that's a huge confidence builder. I know it is for me. I'm sure it is for Johnny as well. So looking forward to him hopefully putting a buck down before it's all said and done. So guys, that's all the hunting action for this episode. The rut's going, Graf. The rut's going. Deer are chasing, they're running, they're grunting.
I've had
This
some
is it.
great hunts. You'll get my update later in the week. I mean, this is a mess.
Todd's
Todd's
had a rough go of it the last couple days. We're going to be bringing you that update here very shortly. Also, one other thing we want to remind you guys, the new Matthews bow is being released on November 13th, so that is a week from today. Todd and I have already got ours.
I gotta
set
say,
up.
I mean, I know we
They're
get a
pretty
lot
awesome.
of. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much more than that.
That's all you need to say. Mine is shooting great. I'm hoping to shoot an animal with it shortly.
I saw you put up your paper tune, and I shot mine through the paper tune. Mine was money on the first shot too.
So I am very pleased with that bow. So make sure you guys tune in to the YouTube channel and the website on the 13th of November as we have those reviews go up for you. And that is it for today's episode. We'll see you guys again later this week with another great episode. Bowhunt or Die.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunt or Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more.
On a normal pattern all the way into October. And
We're waiting because there's a hurricane happening out in the warehouse right now. Yes.
He's probably gonna go walk right in front of my other tree stand now, very slowly.
here we decided to go into town, buy we each bought a start over.